Okay, got the little Husqvarna in the garage. I've already started to take a few things apart on it. As you can see, the hood is off. The exhaust is off. Nothing snapped on the exhaust, which is good. On the electrical side, the starter is disconnected. Nothing broke, which is good. The starter is good, and it will be reusable on other engines. One thing that's nice, this actually uses a 6-pin Molex connector like the newer machines use, but this machine is a first generation steering. It's a step over design, and yeah, it's just, I've had one of these in the past. It's basically what I figure is the very last of these machines. I'm guessing they had parts left over, but they were already starting to convert over to the new wiring harness, the newer engines. This is an L head, but it is the later design L head as well. So it's the much newer L head. It uses a modular style carburetor. As you can see, 3-piece. It uses the clear plastic tank, which this tank will be replaced due to a crack. It uses the more modern dash, more modern steering wheel. It also uses the modern key, also the modern deck engagement with a cable. This is how you tell it has a cable with those 4 bolts. So being a 38-inch cable engagement deck is kind of interesting. To be honest, I didn't think they made these decks like that, but that's a telltale sign right there, because basically these bolts hold this entire assembly in place, and you can actually feel the cable. It has the newer style shifter, newer style transmission, but again, it's a step over. So it's kind of interesting. Also, obviously, the newer style hood. It's what I call a late model tractor. It has a lot of the newer styling to it, but it has the older style frame. So, anyways, I'm gonna get this torn down, but I'm gonna tear the entire engine down in place just so I get it done, and I have the parts. I can put them in the shed, and I know I have them, and they're not sitting on a block in the snow where it's getting wet and getting damaged. This machine does need front wheel bushings. That's the worst of the two. The tires are good. Nothing was flat when I pushed it in, but I knew it needed wheel bushings right from day one. Whenever I went and picked it up, I checked them, and that's how I got it for less money. It also needs the brakes adjusted. That's not a big deal, so that will get done. The brakes will get adjusted probably once I get it up and running, so I can test it easier. The wheel bushings, I'll get them ordered, and they'll come in whenever they come in. I'll get them put on. The gas tank will get changed over. I'll probably take that tank out whenever I start to strip the engine down, just to give me a little bit more room. As you can see, this has so much more room in it than the Toro did. The Toro is really compact, which is nice. This machine here just gives you that much more room. And as you can see, there is no plate right there. I don't know if they stopped using the plate around this model, but if you remember, my Barn Find Craftsman has that plate. As you can see right there. So anyways, I'm going to get this machine ready, get the engine ready to go for scrap, get everything off it that I want. Starter, carburetor, ignition coil, as long as no mice have gotten to it. I'm not going to pull the flywheel to get the stator. I don't need it. I got extra ones around, and if I really need a stator, I'll order one up. They're not that expensive, and really the amount of work it takes to get one of these out, it's not worth my time. So that will stay with the block. I'll actually be able to see if the connecting rod actually went through the block on this. The only way I'll pull the flywheel off is if I cannot get the starter bolts out without taking the flywheel off. So if I have to take it off to get the starter off, I'll take the stator. And I may or may not keep the flywheel. We'll see. But there we go. This should take me less than an hour to get torn down. Get it pulled out. Gotta get the drive taken off. I already took off the front heat shield as well. It needs to be re-straightened. Unfortunately, it's a good idea, but it's a poorly executed design. They're definitely not very good. So there we go. Husqvarna in the garage, ready to be stripped and ready for its heart transplant. Let's quickly show the Toro here. The engine is just sitting in there. Everything is disconnected. As you can see, all the parts are right there, all the bolts. Everything is here to technically put this back together if somebody wanted to, but I'm taking the engine. There is a mouse nest in this engine, so that will have to get taken care of. But I'm going to get the engine bolted into the Husqvarna frame first, then strip this down and take care of the mouse issue. Only one thing I wish I would have done, I wish I would have pressure washed this machine before bringing it in here, but my pressure washer's in the basement. It's been winterized, so I might get this pressure washed if it does warm up. But like I said in the previous video, my next weekend I'm busy. I have kind of a nasty job to go do, and yeah, if I get video of it, I'll get video of it. But by the time this video comes out, that will be possibly long past. So I'm just telling you the timeline for right now. It's beginning of February. I don't know when this video will come out. So there we go. I will talk to them later. Please keep it redneck like always, and please subscribe, comment, and always try and save something before you scrap it. Bye for now.